Hey y'all, it's because Mama said so, and it is time to get ready for the Super Bowl, the Appetizer Palooza of all Appetizer Paloozas. I'm going to start out by doing a layered taco dip. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know on Sunday nights we like to have an appetizer dinner, and we call it Appetizer Palooza. And this actually started because of our deep love of Super Bowl appetizer foods, and we thought, why not do this every Sunday? I'm going to take a block of cream cheese and I'm going to mix it together with half a cup of sour cream, and then I'll spread those two ingredients across the bottom of this baking dish. Now you can use a 9x13 dish. I just happen to be using this one that's a little bit smaller than a 9x13, but any casserole dish you want to use is perfectly fine. The next layer is going to be refried beans with taco seasoning. I'm just going to use the same bowl that I used for the cream cheese and sour cream, but we're going to mix together the taco seasoning and the refried beans, and that's going to be our next layer. This dip is baked, so the one ingredient we'll leave out for now is lettuce, because it'll get topped with lettuce after it cools. But once we get this mixed together, we're going to spread this on top of our cream cheese and sour cream mixture. I always love the Super Bowl. It's always so fun and it's so exciting. And to me, my favorite part is almost as much as the football is the food. And so having Appetizer Palooza gives me opportunities all through the year to try new recipes and decide what it is that I want to make come the big game day. As you can see, I'm spreading this out. The next thing I'm going to do is I have a can of rotel tomatoes that are drained, and I'm going to pour those over the top of the refried beans and spread them out. Then I'll top it with a cup and a half of cheese. I don't want to add too much cheese. I want to be able to see those pretty red tomatoes through the cheese when I top it. But then this will get baked for about 15 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Then after it's cooled slightly, we'll add shredded lettuce to the top of it, and it is so delicious with tortilla chips. Next, we're going to get started on our simple cheese and beef wonton tacos. I've got about 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I am just going to break up with my meat masher and cook it until it's brown. I'll also add taco seasoning to this meat to give it nice flavor for when we add it to our tacos. The tacos that we're using are actually wonton wrappers. I use those doubled up inside of a muffin pan to make a little cup, and we fill it with this lovely spicy meat mixture and cheese, and then we bake those, and they are a family favorite. I feel like we have them almost every Super Bowl because everybody just loves them. We serve them over with sour cream and salsa, and the whole process takes a little bit of time to get everything, the wonton wrappers into the muffin cup, then the meat, and then the cheese, but they're so worth it, and they're so simple. This is a really good frugal appetizer that doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients. Now you can get super fancy with this. I have added green chilies to the meat. I have actually done this with chicken. You can add basically any type of really yummy taco flavored filling that you want to your beef. You could even add beans if you wanted to, but I like to keep it simple, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like to get a little crazy with the spices and have some fun, but today we're going to keep it nice and simple with our beef and cheese wonton tacos. Once these are prepped and ready, they're going to go into the oven at about 350 degrees for around 15 to 20 minutes. You can actually do these at a higher temperature and a little bit less time. They're so flexible, but because most of the things that I'm making today are going to be around 350 degrees, I'm going to keep them in there just a little bit longer and cook them at a slightly lower temperature. The next thing that I'm going to make is a super simple appetizer as well. I'm going to do pineapple and kielbasa. I always have kielbasa in my house. I use it for so many different recipes and pastas, and this appetizer is just super easy and so good. But we're going to take our toothpicks and we're going to skewer a piece of pineapple and a piece of kielbasa and put it in this baking dish. After I'm done with these all of them, I'm actually going to sprinkle them with Old Bay seasoning, and then these will go in at that 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until you start to see a little bit of browning on the kielbasa and the pineapple's nice and warm. These are just super simple, and my family really likes them. I find that when I do appetizers that I like to have some things that are just, you dump it in a bowl and it's ready to go, like chips or nuts or candy, something like that. And then when it comes to your appetizers, make it things that some things are assembled and some things are actually cooked. But like this particular one, I'm basically just assembling it and then it's going to go in the oven. With my layer dip, that took a little bit more work, and the Wonton Tacos. So those were my two kind of labor intensive, but even those were not incredibly difficult. But what I don't recommend is that on appetizer days where you're trying to, put out a lot and put out a spread, don't try too many new recipes all at once. You want to have some things that are just tried and true that your family loves, and maybe try one new thing. But it's a lot of pressure to try and get yourself to make a bunch of new recipes and a bunch of complicated recipes. You'll feel stressed out. You'll be sitting in the corner rocking back and forth crying, and nobody needs that. You're supposed to have fun too. The chef is supposed to have just as much fun as everybody else. So go a little easy on yourself and make sure that you don't try and put too much on your plate that day. As you can see, I'm starting to finish up my little pineapple and kielbasa skewers. They're so good. It was so hard not to eat the kielbasa as I was going, but I really wanted to make sure that I saved as much as I could for this pan. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some Old Bay seasoning, which just gives it some really great spice and flavor. These are really simple. Again, a really frugal way to have a great appetizer with lots of flavor, and your friends and your family will love it. Another thing that I like to do is make something out of a box. So I didn't show you this process because this is a boxed brownie mix, but to make it special, I took some cardstock and I cut out a little bit of a football shape here with the laces, and I'm just going to put powdered sugar over the top of it, so when I pick it up, it'll have the powdered sugar laces and everything, and it'll look like a football brownie. So it's on point, it's on theme, but literally it was so super easy to make. And who said the appetizers have to be hard, right? The appetizers are out of the oven. They are looking so good. This is the taco dip. I'm about to add the lettuce on top of this now that it is slightly cooled. Regardless of who you're rooting for, regardless of who you want to win, I hope you have a great time with your family, that you celebrate with food and fun. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to chat in the comments. Take care of yourself, your precious cargo, and why? Because Mama said so.